You want to start doing some tailgating here?
You know, I think we got to talk some football, and when you do that, we tailgate. And I think, Raj, if you want to spin around and show, we are at the Rams Central. We found a Rams flag here, and we're going to talk to these guys right here.
Wait a second. It's flying upside down. They did that in Berkeley during the Vietnam War.
Well, let's see, Raj. Let's go this way and talk to these people over here. Tailgate Central. And who do we have in this tent here?
These are the folks that are flying the Rams. I'll take over here. Flying a Rams flag upside down. That is original tailgating. What are your folks' names?
Dave, Pat,
Al,
Frank.
Let's get these right here, Raj.
Oh, Dave, they are with us, aren't they?
These right here.
Oh, hi.
Come here. What's your name?
What's your name?
Jennifer Lee.
Jennifer. And what's your name over there? Linda. And these people know how to tailgate. They've got a tent up here. They've got the Rams flag flying upside down, and of course all kinds of food. Come here, Raj. Let's get a shot of some of this food. How long have you guys been out here today?
Since about 8:30. 8:30 this morning.
8:30 this morning.
Come on, you do the interviews. I'm gonna go have some of their chili.
Oh,
Let's have some of that chili.
White chicken chili.
oh, check this out.
Chili, Raj.
Check this out.
White chicken chili.
And who made this, Linda?
No, this is made by my wife, Jennifer.
Jennifer's a beautiful woman,
Yeah,
by the
she
way.
was. That's almost all gone, but we got extras for after the game.
Oh, you always got to plan ahead.
North Carolina pork.
Oh.
That's a good sandwich. That's made by Al, a participant in our tailgating party. We have fresh rolls every morning and breakfast usually before you guys got here.
So what's your breakfast? What was on the breakfast
menu was probably warm rolls and beer.
Let's hear a good Ditka impersonation.
Bloody Mary mix.
Duh, beer.
And for those who don't like the Bloody Marys, we serve margaritas.
Outstanding.
This guy, he looks like Dick Butkus.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, a little Dick Butkus going.
Yeah, we do.
Now, let me ask you a question here. Now, you know, if you read Emily Post or something like that, I think she says you can't drink before noon. But really, when you're tailgating, I'm talking to you folks here. When you're tailgating, what time is it okay to start drinking?
It's noon somewhere.
It's always noon somewhere, so I waited at least 2 minutes, I think.
Outstanding.
It's always a fisherman's story. It's always noon somewhere.
That's right.
Chicago, my hometown.
Look like Bears fans.
Bears fans. Now, is this... Where's the food? What? Wait.
Right here.
Go home, St. Louis?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
All I gotta say, 2 years ago I was at this game, and Tony Banks hit Alonzo Spellman in the face. Do you remember that? I was ready to jump out on the field just to get on, you know.
Now, do you guys remember last year's game between these two teams? It was played in St. Louis, and it wasn't exactly the best played game of the NFL season. Well,
It wasn't, but I think we came up victorious, didn't we? Yeah, I think it's one of our...
I don't think it was victorious. I think just nobody wanted to win. We lost.
Now, we've got some tailgating questions we want to ask you. First of all, what time do you guys have primo tailgating position?
8 in the morning. Yes, sir. We're down here at 8 o'clock.
And we've been asking some other people too, because I think that some kind of crazy, some people etiquette say that you're not supposed to start drinking before noon. But when you're tailgating, I would guess that doesn't count. What time is it okay to start drinking?
We parked the truck. 8:01.
Actually, 7:45 on the way down.
I need to hear a good Ditka from one of you guys. Ditka. Let's hear like a Ditka saying.
All right, let's go, Bears. Let's go. After we eat all these pork chops and these steaks, we're going to go win a game
Who's
today.
got the water gum to put on the TV, man? The bubble gum.
The Bears.
All right, well, Jeff, I think it's proven that these Bears fans, I'm not going to say they're better than Rams fans, because I think our fans are pretty good. We have pretty good fans.
At least the Bears are from Chicago. The Rams, who knows where?
Yeah, we listened to the Madden interview. Did you see that Madden interview where he did the bus thing and he said, Bears fans, years ago, even when they had bad teams, they were still involved with the team. Man, we are still involved with the team, okay? We're here, man. We're here to party. We're here to have a good time, and the Bears are on a winning streak. 3 out of 4. We're going to beat the Rams today, 26-14.
14.
We're there.
This guy could be the next governor of Illinois. Anything can happen.
Hello, Fenton, Missouri. Stevie Stoltz, we love you.
Fenton, Missouri. We got fans in Fenton. All right, Jeff, it's time to go in and see what Soldier Field looks like. We've moved inside to historic Soldier Field, and we just want to kind of give our take on this stadium. As I first walked in, A lot of history here. I like this. This is the way football should be played.
Yeah, it really is. It's an outdoor stadium in the cold weather. Nice grass field, and certainly a lot of football history has taken place in this stadium. And guys like Gale Sayers, Dick Butkus have graced this field. Jim McMahon, William the Refrigerator Perry, Alonzo Spellman.
Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, this is definitely a football stadium.
I hear the Mark McGuire theme song, Welcome to the Jungle. Well, last night we had a little snow, and that's what Chicago is. You can see our breath. It's cold out here, but this is the way football should be played. That dome has no personality at all. I mean, I am going off today, but I'm having a good time. This is the way football should be played. This is why the Rams lose, because they don't have a field like this.
Well, I think there are more problems than that, Brad, but...
I'm trying to get back some of my, some of the remarks I made earlier.
I see. Well, anyway, I think we're doing this kind of chronologically. This is our pregame segment of the show, and even though you'll be watching it on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you know what happened in the game right now. We're thinking about what's going to happen in the game, and let's hope that the Rams can come out and have a good start, because that's going to be crucial, I think, to how much success they have. If they fall behind a touchdown or two early, it could be trouble. This is a great environment, as you say, a tough place for a road team to play, and the Rams are going to have to come out of the gate strong. Tony Banks is going to have a big day with Gerald Moore getting the start at running back. The running game a question mark. Tony Banks is going to have a big day if the Rams are going to win.
And it should be a good atmosphere here for him because he doesn't have to have the booze. But last week, the Atlanta Falcons was just an atrocious game. And by the way, we had technical difficulties last week. That's why we didn't have our show.
Is that what it's called?
And next week, Dan Deerdorf will be on the show. So we've got some good stuff coming up. The thing about this series is so far there is some history now. 4 years now these teams have played. The first game was in '95 when the Rams beat the Bears 31-28, and that got them to the 4-0 start. The next year was the year they came here to Soldier Field, and Tony Banks basically beat up Alonzo Spellman. Then last year, you all remember the Blood Bowl, where nobody wanted to win, and by
worst game in NFL history.
By 7:30, ESPN switched to the roller derby. So this year, hopefully, we'll have a better game, and you will know, because when we come back, we're going to be in the locker room, and then we'll have your little post-game show from Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois.
Cincinnati 0, Miami 7. Chicago, I will show you around. I love it. Bet you about $1 you lose the blues in Chicago, Chicago. The town that Billy Sunday couldn't shut down.
Welcome to the post-game show. We're with Coach Dick Vermeil. And Coach, a nice big win for you guys today after the Bears come out for 7 minutes on the first drive of theirs. You go to the first quarter, end of the first quarter with your drive. It was a really good effort today for the whole team, defensive and offensively.
Well, there were some things we didn't do real well in the fourth quarter, but overall I thought we played pretty darn good football. And we didn't run the ball as well as I'd like to be able to run it, and we knew it would be tough. The big thing is we didn't turn the ball over, and the other big thing, Keith Lyle makes a key interception at the end there that helps us, and then we turned it back over when Eddie got hit and fumbled the ball. But overall, it was a good team game. Special teams were good. Field goal kicker. Everyone did a good job.
When you talk about the team effort, I mean, you guys looked like a different game plan going in. A lot of the longer passes to like Ricky Prohl, especially with Isaac Broussard. You spread out the ball a lot more on offense. Was that something you guys knew you had to do coming into this game?
Yeah, we actually threw more short stuff and then occasionally deep, but used a lot of motion to try to loosen up the underneath coverage and allow our people to read their linebackers, run against the linebackers rather than the corners.
Tony Banks, is this the best performance you've seen him as coach of the Rams?
No, the best was a year ago in Atlanta when he threw for 400 yards, and then he hit 15 in a row against the Jets. Was a good game, and he played well today. He is capable of playing like this, and as soon as he starts playing like that consistently, then we'll know we have a mature quarterback.
How does it now? Today he said he was relaxed.
He was relaxed.
How do you? I mean, is there any way that makes him relaxed, or is it just wake up in the morning and you never know? Because the game against 2 weeks ago, he said he was very tense, and that showed up against the 49ers.
Oh, that's right. And that was at home, and there was a lot of pressure on him at home, and he just, I think, is maturing. Each experience a young quarterback goes through that's positive helps him grow a little bit. Each one that goes negative takes him back a little bit. It creates pressure for him the next time out.
Coach, thank you very much. Now let's go ahead and hear from Keith Lott.
Yeah, I think we played pretty good. There's still some things we can get better at. But as a whole, I think we played good. We made plays when we had to. We played pretty consistent on the run. Stencham, he was like 9 for 10 at one point, but he was doing a lot of dink routes, dumping here and there, just I think to get his confidence going. So that was a little deceptive, his high percentage rate, but we played well, man. We held him to a low amount of yards passing and running.
It was nice to get a win. I mean, we were on a little skid there, and last year we let the skid keep going. So this year we stopped it, but we still, by no means is this redemption or anything like that. Hold on a minute. By no means is this redemption, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's a good step for the second half of the season.
You have Ricky Prohl in there, a lot of long passes, 15-yard passes. I haven't seen that in a while. Was that something that really wasn't something that during the week they wanted to do a lot more?
Well, no, it wasn't something that was actually planned, but Ricky Prohl, just like a few of our other receivers, are capable of making big plays. We just, for one reason or another, we haven't been making them. If it was bad throws, bad routes, drop balls, I mean, today we didn't have that. We didn't have very many drops. I didn't throw too many bad balls, so, I mean, it goes hand in hand.
You had a lot of guys catching balls today, too. You had about 6 receivers, at least one catch. I mean, you got to really get to spread the ball out today.
Well, that's what we have to do when we miss a guy like Isaac and Ernie, who are two of the better players at their positions. When you lose guys like that, you have to spread the football around and try to have other guys make plays for you and make it so the other team doesn't have maybe 1 or 2 guys to key in on, and we got amp out too. So we had guys step up and make plays. That's what we've been talking about all week. We had a good practice of guys making plays all week. So it just seems like the offensive line gave you time today. Well, we didn't ask me today to drop too far back and stand back there and try to let deep routes come open. But for what we did, the line did a great job. I think we still need to run the football better than we did today. When the game's on the line, we couldn't move the football. We couldn't get 1 first down. And 1 or 2 first downs, the game wouldn't have been a nail-biter at the end. So there's some things to take out of this that we still need to improve on.
We're with DeMarco Farr. DeMarco, big game today. You come here to Chicago and you win. You guys play great defensively. The first drive, they had the 8-minute drive, and it looked like you guys were going to be on the field a lot today. But then the Rams offense comes out and really changes that. They stay on the field for the end of the half, or the first quarter.
Oh, man, our offense came up big today. I'm really proud of them. We played like a team today. That first drive, I mean, we make 2 plays at the beginning of it and we're off the field. But they made some plays and they put it in on us, and, home field advantage, you get 7 points. So there it was right there. But we buckled down, we did what we had to do, came out with a win.
Now, after the Jets game, the team, for some reason, just didn't play as well. What do you think will happen next week? With a nice win like this, you guys are all pretty much, I mean, the offense was spread out well, the defense played great. I mean, it was a really good game. What's going to happen next week?
Well, I'm not on next week yet. We just beat the Bears, and we have a plane ride to go. We haven't watched the film. So this team deserves the right to celebrate the win. So we'll go back to work Wednesday, get ready for the Saints, and do what we need to do. But right now, we're happy we got a win, and happy we're going home.
There's not many must-win games, but was this a must-win game? 2-7, it doesn't sound as good as 3-6, obviously. I mean, did you guys really need to win this game to kind of get some respectability back?
Oh, they're all must-win. It's not baseball. I mean, every game counts. Every game is important. So this was a good one. We got a win. Let's go home and enjoy it.
So that's the post-game show from the Rams locker room, a happy Rams locker room. We don't usually get to go into a winning locker room when the Rams play, but it was a great game today. I had a good time here at Soldier Field, and they pretty much did everything right. The fourth quarter, you look like you're about to get angry with me. The fourth quarter, there was a few times where they broke down, but overall, good game.
Now, what did I tell you before the game, Brad?
I don't remember. I was in a doze.
Now, if I remember correctly,
you're going to eat chili.
No, aside from that, I told you that off camera. If Tony Banks had a big game, the Rams had a good chance. And Tony Banks had a terrific game.
You are Nostradamus.
That's right. Except for, by looking at my gambling record, you certainly wouldn't think so. But Tony Banks had a big game for the Rams. The Rams won. Ricky Prohl, outstanding catching the football. Eddie Kennison, who's been the invisible man for most of the season, he went across the middle and got some short passes, which we haven't seen him do. He got involved a little bit. Tony Banks sprayed the ball around 6 different, I think, receivers catching the football. The defense was superb. Now, granted, Steve Stenstrom is a quarterback making his second pro start, I think, but first since 1994. But he put some numbers up completions-wise, but the Rams made big plays on defense. They took away, for the most part, the run, and they got some pressure on Stenstrom and made it tough for him. And they had a good overall effort and a great team win, although it was a little hairy at the end.
And I wonder, you know, the controversy, once again, every week we have controversy. Wilbert Montgomery called the score here in Chicago and had some interesting comments, said about 10 players really care, even look at the book. I wonder if many of them opened up that playbook today, because a lot more players were in the plays today, and I wonder if that had anything to do with it.
It might. I mean, if he said it on the air on a Chicago radio station, maybe he had already addressed that with the team, and you know, maybe a little kick in the rear is what they needed. But I think that this was a team that seemed relaxed and focused, made very few mistakes. They didn't turn over the football. Very few just crippling penalties like the Rams have been taking lately, and special teams, they were virtually mistake-free. So they looked relaxed, they executed, and they won the football game.
So we have to travel all the way to Chicago to see the Rams win, but it was worth it. Damn it, great fun Saturday night.
Yeah, and they're 3-6 now, and you know, they could still
wild card. May I say so?
No, but if you build on this, and you know, you can still salvage a respectable season if you finish up strong this year. So I think the Rams, this is a huge win for them. They have to build on this win. There's a string of games now where they might have a chance, you know, where you've got New Orleans, although they've played well, they're not the most talented team in the National Football League, and you have Carolina coming in. You've got a couple of games here in the next couple, go to Philadelphia in the next 3 weeks that the Rams have a good shot at winning. And if they can win a couple of them, then you know, they're back toward 500 and battling for a respectable year. So while they've looked terrible up to this point, with a couple of exceptions, today was an excellent day for the Rams, and a big win for this football team, confidence-wise and otherwise, momentum-wise, because everybody had a hand in it.
Well, I am an optimist, and I don't know if the wild card's a shot, but right now 7-9 could be something that they could do. I think they may, you know, one of those games against Atlanta, they may lose. San Francisco, they may lose. But 7-9, if they get there after where they were at 2-6, who knows, you know? And they maybe 7-9 right now is what they should be looking at.
And well, I think that rather than looking at a number for victories, rather than saying we want to win 8 ball games, we want to win 7 ball games, we want to win 9 ball games, I think what they need to do is make sure that they prepare every week and play the best they can every week. Now, you're not going to win every week, but if you go out there and give a solid effort and you don't lay down like you did against Atlanta, you don't give the game away like you did against San Francisco, you stay in it till the end and compete, you take your chances. And this team has enough playmakers, even with the injuries, that they're able to come up with a play now and again that can win a ball game. So, you know, you saw Keith Lyle with the interception at the end. Tony Banks had a terrific day. You know, you had guys step up. Jeff Robinson on a big sack at the end of the ball game. Although Rick Tootin stepped on the back of the end zone. The struggles continue. He punted well up to that point, though. But everybody had a hand in it, and everybody seemed focused. Everybody seemed relaxed, and everybody seemed ready to go. And that's what the Rams are going to have to do, rather than worrying about a number of victories. Play like that every week and take your chances.
Well, Roger's getting cold, but I do want to mention one more thing. You know, I almost thought we were making a mistake. I thought we should have gone west instead of north to Mizzou to watch the Tigers. Give us this fight song here.
I'm not going to sing it.
Just a little bit.
I could sing the alma mater.
Whatever, do it.
But I won't.
Do it.
Do you really want me to do this on camera on this television?
Fine,
People won't ever watch it. Old Missouri, fair Missouri, dear old varsity, ours are hearts that truly love thee. Here's a hail to thee. 38-14 over Colorado. Take that and stick that up your 5 down nose.
Interesting. So they will go to Texas A&M. They win then. We'll be playing Kansas State for the conference championship.
And who would have thought that would ever happen in a million years?
You know, even last year, 5 games into the season, they weren't that good.
Even this year, you know, you figure Nebraska is going to compete for a national title. Kansas State just as good or right on par with them. So you figure it's a 2-horse race. And Mizzou is looking to land at the head of the also-rans. But they win the ball game in Texas A&M. They're on their home field. Now, granted, it could be against the #1 team in the nation. But they're on their home field with a chance to win. And Kansas State K-State's a team that, that while they're number 1 in the country, they haven't played anybody. They beat the heck out of Texas, which is the only good team they played. So the K-State has a big test this weekend with Nebraska. Even though Nebraska has struggled, it's never a cakewalk against the Huskers. And if they beat Nebraska, they got another big test against Mizzou. So the Big 12 is going to be interesting.
Well, St. Louis, we're coming home to the best baseball and hockey fans in America.
Notice you left football out.
Oh, I did, didn't I? There's a reason. Well, I mean, I think we had a good time here in Chicago. These fans came out here. Their team's not that good. They sold out the place again, 123 straight sellouts. Great tradition in Soldier Field. Chicago was a fun place for us, and I think we'll be back here for an MLS game sometime during the near future.
Chicago Fire. Doesn't Campos play for them? Jorge Campos.
Jeff, anything you want to add before we go? The beautiful Sears Tower there in the background, and this is just a great place to watch football. If you get a chance, come here, watch football here. Go to Wrigley Field, another great landmark. There's a guy diving off the Sears right now.
Wow, how about that?
Anything you want to add here, Jeff, or are you ready to go?
Well, no, it was a great weekend in Chicago, and this is always a great rivalry between these two towns, regardless of the sport, regardless of the records between the teams. It's a driving distance. A lot of people from Chicago come down to St. Louis, too, and they're talking about building a new stadium for the Chicago Bears, and ownership says that's basically a necessity that they get a new stadium. And although, the parking, the concessions, the access from the highway and the traffic problems, and also the luxury box revenue is not what the modern stadiums are. This is one of the great old football stadiums, and you think of some of the people that have played here, some of the games that have taken place here, and you look around you, and this is football. A cold, crisp day in November, and at Soldier Field with the pillars in the background. It doesn't get much better than this.
And we sat in the heated press box while our cameraman froze.
Roger Starkey froze his tail off. He is now. Look at him shiver. He's shivering, ladies and gentlemen. And Roger Starkey froze on the sideline while we drank hot chocolate, ate chili, and complained how the heat was turned up too high.
We thank Roger very much for his camera work and giving us the one-finger salute. We thank Rick Smith of the Rams, along with Dwayne Lewis, Avis Roper, and Miranda Walker, the Rams PR people who helped us out immensely today in Chicago and throughout the season. And we thank the Chicago people. All these people here in Chicago are great.
Especially the tailgaters who gave us food.
Chili, free chili. So that's going to do it for our show.